you doing?
Wow, your hair looks really dark on TV. Like super duper dark.
No, well, compared to you, because you have like highlights here.
I feel like we need to go to Ulta and get someone dry.
We need a lot of help
Wow.
here. We need a lot of help.
Wow,
We need a lot of help.
You know what? This is humbling. This is a humbling.
No, this is
experience.
hashtag
This is like, hey,
real reality. We should call this the real deal.
The real deal.
With
Holyfield.
Adalis and Magalis.
Yeah.
Because there's no lighting that's gonna do us justice. There's no
Literally nothing
makeup.
can help.
Because this is what happens with like 5 hours of sleep. Maybe 5 hours. How many did you clock in yesterday?
I don't even know. I'm gonna find out right now. I think my Fitbit is at home, so you can't sync.
No. What have you been clocking at?
Not bad. 5 hours.
So that's why we talk about makeup here. Lots of people are like, oh, I don't need makeup. I don't need a lot of makeup. These two
5 hours and 52 minutes.
of makeup time is what we need a day. We are talking today about who called you. This is really geared towards my ministry friends. I just wanted to take a little bit of your time on this devotional day, Vidotional, whatever, and let you know that you, in order. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, you checked out some eyeliners.
That was yesterday.
No way.
That was yesterday, and I washed my hands with soap very vigorously every time I used the bathroom.
What was that?
Kat Von D. That's the new one.
The 24-hour one?
I don't, it must be the
waterproof wear.
24-hour one. I done scrub, and this is like, it started hurting, and then it started kind of like lifting up a little bit. Anyway.
I'm gonna go online and order mine.
What I wanted you to understand, ministry buds out there watching, is that if God has called you to ministry, nobody else can call you out of it.
Okay.
I just want to say that. Like that's pretty much what we're talking about right now. I think too many times we kind of leave our calling to somebody else. Do you get what I'm saying?
So you're just waiting for like the best possible scenario to walk into your calling?
No. When I say that we're leaving it, like I'm leaving it on you, I have a ministry call, right? Mm-hmm. But my hope, that calling really is placed on the responsibility of another individual. When in reality, that's not how it works. Your calling is the call of God on your life that you have to be responsible for.
I mean, I think that this transcends ministry then.
Yes.
This
you're calling in general too.
Everybody is
like
called.
Everybody's called, and it's what you have given yourself to do.
God has called you to do.
Because I can tell you right
Whatever
now.
it may be, it doesn't have to be ministry.
Yeah, you're right. Because it even if it was in the, I always choose the food.
Maybe you're a chef. Maybe you're
a baker.
You're a baker.
Whatever. And you're like the best baker. And all of a sudden, the head chef doesn't want you baking anymore. He wants you chopping up vegetables. But you know, your forte is creating beautiful desserts. What do? Do you just sit there and wait to be maybe positioned back into your baking call? Or do you chop up fruit and vegetables for the rest of your life? What do you do when you feel like your calling is being mishandled? Or your calling is not really being used in the place that you're in? What would you suggest? It's a loaded question.
It's very layered.
It's a loaded question. And that's why I want to get your take on that. I want to know what you would say to somebody who feels like, okay, I'm called to be a music pastor, but I'm in children's ministry and I don't want to be in children's ministry. But right now, this is where I'm at. I'm totally unhappy. I know that this isn't what God has called me to do. What does a person do?
Well, you show yourself faithful with where you're at, and then your gift will make room for you. And so that is going to be my take on it, because there's so many different layers. You can really, age will have something to do with it. Maybe what you're called to do has something to do with it, because I know also these scenarios where someone will say, I am called to be a graphic art design artist, and then they show me some of their graphic designs and I'm like, no, you're not. And then there's even in the ministry realm where doors aren't opening for them, or maybe there is an element of reality that has to come with it, and you have to really do, because a lot of people just I like the evangelist. Let's use Jonathan as an example. There's so many people that want to be an evangelist but really don't really know what it costs to be an evangelist. They just kind of love the gift of the evangelist, but they don't necessarily have that within themselves. I think that a love for something can really kind of like set you off track a little bit.
Yes, totally.
So, I mean, I have all of those things in mind as well when I say that.
Yes.
But, so that's why I'm saying.
Because everybody's different.
When you know, when you're fully operating in that gift that God has called you to do, like your gift will make room for you, that thing will open up doors, supernatural doors.
Yes, it will.
So that's when you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what I've been called to do. I mean, look at Nick Boy. He's 19 years old and he has some wide open doors of opportunity.
Yes, he does.
Because he's walking in his calling, and so those things have made room for him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You stay faithful with where you're at, and that thing will make room for you.
Yes. I also think that if you are legitimately, like, say Abel works for another guy and he's the top of his trade. You know what I mean? If he felt, and he has a genuine calling, like an actual gift, and he feels like he's being shortchanged doing plumbing, I think that somebody who has given themselves over to the ministry knows that they have a call. Let me just read Romans 8:14. And this is something that we get like all the time. What do you feel called to do? What has the Lord called you to do? Well, I felt to go into ministry, and I feel to do evangelism, and I feel to pastor. Okay, what did God instruct you to do? Crickets. They never sought what the Lord. Just because you have a feeling, like you were saying, just because you have a love for something doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what you're called to do. Mm-hmm. So understanding that, and once we pass that, once you know that you know that you know, I have a calling, I know that God called me, I remember that day where God placed it on my heart, He broke my heart for this, I've given myself to studying, I've gone to Bible school. When you know that you know that you know that this is what you're called to do and you're not veering from that, then it's time to shift it up into another gear. Romans 8:14 says, "For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God." So you really do have to be led of the Spirit in order to know exactly what to do in this situation.
Well, it's interesting. I think that, like, you know, when you think about God's calling, a lot of people are expecting the dove to descend and all of these different things. Once you get past, okay, this is exactly what I feel God wants me to do with my life, God will give you the steps. It doesn't stop at the initial, He said that I was supposed to there. He's not only gonna, you know, it would be like the same thing if I told Anna, like, you're gonna go to preschool, have fun, like figure out how to get there. No, I'm gonna help her out. I will give her the step by step.
Yes.
This is what you're gonna wear. And you can get
and that's exactly it. Because if you are gonna choose to be led of the Spirit, that's how God marks you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be led, all right, but how are you led of the Spirit? That's another episode, really. How are you led of the Spirit? How can you be led of the Spirit? By looking in His Word. 1 Chronicles 16:11 says, "Search for the Lord and for His strength. Continually seek Him." Read it in a different version. I think the King James Version says it the best. 1 Chronicles 16:11, and I'll read it again in New Living Translation. "Search for the Lord and for His strength. Continually seek Him."
Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face continually.
Seek the Lord and His strength. Seek His face continually. So here it is, another connotation of like getting into personal contact with the Lord. When you are in need of direction, need of strength, what do? I have to seek His face. I have to, if I want to be strengthened, I need to tap into God's strength. I need direction as to where to go. Just because a pastor said, no, you are not to do this, or just because someone said, no, you can't do this, you have to do that, doesn't mean that you settle. And it definitely doesn't mean that you give up and quit. And that's really what I want to drive here, is that if you feel called and somebody has positioned you to a separate thing that you don't really want to do, or someone's called you out of what you really want to do, it's not time to put your hands up and say, all right, then this is it. It didn't work out. And so you live your life with regret, and you live your life with bitterness towards that other person because they took you out of what you thought was a God-given. I just want I want to emphasize that it's God who called you, and no man can take that place. If God closed the door, he's going to close the door. And if God opens the door, he's going to open the door. But all you have to do is rest and know that you are well taken care of. If God called me to children's ministry, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the best at it. It doesn't matter who tries to stop me. It doesn't matter what doors close. I'm called to children's ministry, and I will seek a greater opportunity. I will seek the face of God. I will seek his strength, and I will get divine direction as to where to go. He never leaves us high and dry. He never leaves you high and dry. Yeah. So whatever it is that you feel that position is in your life, that somebody may have just ripped the rug from underneath you, and you're like, now what do I do? What is this? Seek God continually. And I know that sounds cliche, and I know that's probably something that you don't want to hear, but it is absolutely integral to find the direction as to what to do now. You had a position closed to you. You don't want to take it. You don't want to go down that road. What do? Seek the face of God, and he will show you the way that you should go. It really is that simple. But I'm telling you right now, whatever you're called to do, make up your mind that you are gonna do it. Don't allow any bit of discouragement to set in and say, I guess I'm never gonna do that. I guess I'm just not gonna go to church anymore. I guess I'm just not gonna participate in the fellowship just because I'm angry that, pastor took me off of something that I wanted to do, or whatever the nonsensical.
Don't leave it up to anybody else. Don't let your happiness rest on the shoulders of man.
No, just say that again.
Don't let your happiness rest on the shoulders.
No, but before that.
I forgot.
Don't leave it to man.
Don't leave it to man. Don't leave it to another person.
Yes. Take the responsibility.
Make a plan. Search his face. Make a plan, right?
It's a word.
Maybe you need to be in ministry and you need to go to ministry school. Maybe you want to be a baker and you need to go to baking school.
I wouldn't
just make a plan. Seek his face.
What took me 12 minutes to say? You just said it in one sentence.
Seek his face. Glory. God bless.
Peace.
Deuces.